Suddenly, this year, there are two wells that are drilled and they got the discovery.
Namibia is posed to become a potentially major player in the oil industry.
These wells will give us a better understanding of deliverability, capacity of the field, and so on, so that we can put plans for the development subsequent to that.
The world of oil is a volatile one, where power and wealth can shift in an instant. Recently, Shell made a stunning announcement that rocked the industry to its core. They had discovered a massive oil reserve in Namibia. The news has left many wondering what this could mean for the future of the country and the global oil market. Could this be the opportunity that Namibia needs to become a major player, or will it bring chaos and conflict as interests clash over this valuable resource? The stakes are high and the world is watching. Join us as we delve deeper into this fascinating story and uncover what the future may hold for Namibia and its newfound oil. Namibia is a land of stark contrasts and breathtaking beauty. Located on the southwestern coast of Africa, it is a country of vast deserts, towering mountains, and rugged coastline. The Namib Desert, one of the oldest deserts in the world, stretches along the entire western coast of the country, offering an otherworldly landscape of towering sand dunes and barren plains. In contrast, the northern part of Namibia is a land of lush green savannas and teeming wildlife, including lions, elephants, and rhinos. The country's rugged coastline is also a sight to behold, with jagged cliffs and rocky outcroppings giving way to endless stretches of sandy beaches. Namibia's geography is as varied as it is stunning, and it's no wonder that it has become one of Africa's most popular destinations for adventurous travelers. But it's not just the terrain that's captivating. Namibia is also rich in resources, including diamonds, uranium, and now oil. The oil industry has been shaken up with Shell's announcement of a groundbreaking discovery off the southern shore of Namibia. For the past year, Shell and Qatar Energy have been on a frenzied exploration mission in Namibia, and the excitement has not died down. The recent discovery of light oil in a deep water well located in the Orange Basin marks the third major find in just over a year. This explosive discovery occurred at the Jonker 1X well, which sits around 270 kilometers offshore southern Namibia in the PEL 39 license. To reach the oil reserves, the well was drilled in waters around 2,200 meters deep, a daring feat in and of itself. Qatar Energy was the first to reveal the discovery, flaunting a 45% non-operating interest in the block, while Namibia's state-owned Namcor holds a 10% stake in the license. Shell, which dominates with a 45% share and operates the license, has yet to release an official statement. The question on everyone's mind is, what are they waiting for? The discovery is massive, and it's no surprise that both Shell and Qatar Energy are playing their cards close to the chest. Both Shell and Qatar Energy have refrained from issuing reserve estimates, emphasizing the need for further appraisal work to assess the find's full size and potential. Yet one thing is for sure, the frenzied activity and turbulence in Namibia's oil sector shows no signs of letting up anytime soon. The previous two major oil discoveries were also in the Orange Basin, a region stretching from southern Namibia to the east coast of Africa. The supermajors made headlines last year with their Graph 1 probe in Block 2913A, followed by Total Energy's discovery of hydrocarbons at the enormous Venus 1X Wildcat project in adjacent Block 2913B. Shell then succeeded in its La Rona 1 well, which was near Graph, followed by promising signs of hydrocarbons in Shell's Jonker 1 exploration probe, also in Block 2913B. The Northern Ocean's semi-submersible rig, Deep Sea Bolster, struck hydrocarbons in a secondary target while heading to the main reservoir objective in late January, and the excitement is only beginning. The latest development has just added another exciting chapter to Namibia's ongoing oil saga. This significant find comes hot on the heels of Total Energy's announcement of their ambitious drilling campaign to appraise the Venus discovery. The company is putting half of its exploration budget for 2023 into Namibia, signaling the country's growing importance to the global oil industry. But Total Energies isn't the only company seeking to tap into the country's offshore resources. Woodside Energy, an Australian firm, has also secured an option to acquire a stake in a block located off the coast of Namibia. As for the PEL 56 license, Total Energies holds the largest stake of 40%, while Qatar Energy, Impact Oil and Gas, and Namcor hold 30, 20 and 10% respectively. According to Impact Oil and Gas, a successful drilling campaign at Venus could lead to 2 early production centres. However, despite the exciting discoveries, a Namibian wealth management firm warns that it will take a few years before the country sees the benefits. In the meantime, oil majors are increasing their exploration efforts in the region, with Australian firm Woodside Energy securing an option to acquire a stake in a block off Namibia's coast. The African Energy Chamber is also getting involved, opening an office in Namibia to promote local content development and capacity building. The AEC will engage with stakeholders from across the industry, from international oil companies to the government and service providers. With recent oil and gas discoveries transforming Namibia's energy sector, the AEC's multi-tiered approach will ensure that the country can maximise the benefits of its newfound energy wealth. Experts predict that the Namibian economy could double by 2040, with the government earnings over $53 billion annually at peak production from the oil finds. However, despite optimistic projections, oil companies still need to ensure the practicality and financial viability of these discoveries. In the first 3 years of production, royalties are expected to be the primary source of government oil revenue. But if the price of oil remains high in the face of growing demand for clean energy and renewable technology, profits could surge. According to PSG Namibia, the benchmark Brent crude spot price could stay above $79 per barrel until 2030. PSG Namibia also predicts that the Namibian economy could double by 2040, with the government earning over $3.5 billion in taxes and royalties at peak oil production. With a project increase in revenue for the government and Namcor, this windfall could not come at a more critical time, as Namibia anticipates significant revenue from the South African Customs Union, or SACU, pool. With Namibia experiencing an economic revival, many are feeling optimistic about the country's future. Tax reforms and compliance improvements have led to increased expectations for value-added tax and personal income tax collections. However, some experts are urging caution, noting that these estimates are solely based on future oil price predictions. Given the unpredictability of the oil market, Namibia should consider diversifying and expanding its revenue sources to mitigate potential risks. And despite being a resource-rich country, Namibia is grappling with poverty, inequality and unemployment, much like many other post-independence democracies in the Southern African Development Community, SADC. Despite having citizens who largely depend on subsistence agriculture, Namibia's young population is increasingly dissatisfied with the worsening socio-economic conditions, leading to a decline in support for the ruling SWAPO party in 2020's local government elections. SWAPO, with its liberation credentials, was expected to lead Namibia to economic prosperity, but corruption and mismanagement have hampered progress. This disillusionment is a reflection of a broader trend in the region, where liberation parties have failed to deliver on their promises, raising doubts about the credibility of institutions and fueling frustration among the youth. The political landscape in Southern Africa is unstable, plagued by corruption and public disillusionment. Recent events in South Africa and Namibia have highlighted this issue. In South Africa, corruption allegations and failures at the local government level led to a decline in support for the African National Congress, ANC, in the 2021 elections. Similarly, in Namibia, corruption allegations regarding fishing quotas contributed to the ruling SWAPO party's loss of support in the 2020 local elections. The recent discovery of oil in Namibia presents both opportunities and challenges, with the potential to double the country's GDP by 2040. However, corruption scandals like the fish rot case involving SWAPO officials accepting bribes for fishing rights could undermine this projection and lead to further socio-economic tensions. The name alone, fish rot, conjures up the unpleasant stench of corruption. In the fish rot scandal, a number of prominent politicians and businessmen were accused of running schemes to get control of valuable fishing quotas, for example, those held by the state fishing company Fishcorps. It is alleged that they then diverted them to the Icelandic fishing company Samherji in return for kickbacks. 10 suspects, including former Fisheries Minister Bernard Esau and ex-Justice Minister Zacchaeus Sangala, were alleged to have benefited. Namibia's newfound oil wealth is a double-edged sword, promising economic growth but also exposing the country to the resource curse. This phenomenon is all too familiar in the Southern African development community, where the mismanagement of resources has resulted in corruption, weak governance, and a lack of benefits for local communities. These issues limit the state's ability to address social challenges like unemployment and poverty, which can trigger instability and undermine democratic stability. Resource wealth has often fueled conflict in countries with liberation histories, and the rhetoric of resource nationalism can exacerbate these tensions. As calls for resource nationalization grow, politicians may exploit these sentiments to maintain their power, threatening political stability. So the SADC governments must prioritize transparency in managing the revenues generated from extractive industries like oil to avoid a resource curse that can lead to corruption and political instability. By fostering transparency and accountability, nations can compare their performance and work together towards development goals. While these industries can bring significant employment opportunities for impoverished communities, effective management and collective action are critical for ensuring that they benefit the broader population and not just the ruling parties. The discovery of oil in Namibia presents an opportunity for the SADC region, but it also demands responsible management to prevent a repeat of the mistakes made in other resource-rich countries. What do you think are the most important steps for ensuring that the oil revenue benefits everyone? Share your thoughts in the comments below.